we should cover?
No, not at the moment. I meant to prepare some questions, but I'll take care of that later.
Oh, there'll be time for that.
Yeah.
Right, you do have some notes. Well, they're mostly links, so I need to look at what they are. So I got dragged into this one as a little diversion. So adding documentation for optional modules. That's basically what we started the last stream with, or spent the last
week. Okay.
Doing.
Whatever, the last session.
So basically what this does is that adds a term, optional module. I see. This is adding a missing to absent, and extension module is a term. Sounds fine. Do we have a term for CPython in the glossary? Oh, we do. Let's do that.
That's a nice little trick of editing the suggestion.
Well, now I realize I can do that because I have superpowers in this repository. And the other way to do it is to copy the suggestion like that, and then edit it and then accept the new version, which is probably cleaner, but doesn't really matter. So any more suggestions? Why not keep the homepage link for zlib? I guess we could keep that. On the other hand, the zlib homepage isn't really informative, I would say. So I'll just say it's what does the zlib homepage tell you? A massively spiffy, delicately unobtrusive conversion library, compression library, tells you what it is. Most importantly, I would say it tells you how to get it if you don't have it already for some reason. but it's mostly information
Yeah, it
for
seems like it's
people who
mostly
build
information for
Python.
people who might want to develop with zlib.
I mean, if there was something like a donation link or something like that, that would be a reason to keep the link.
Yes, I don't know that they have one though, strangely enough.
I don't think they do.
Do you suppose that it might, and I'm thinking out loud here, but perhaps one reason of having a link to the home page is to potentially disambiguate from other pages that might be similar?
Yeah, from other libraries named zlib. Yes, that's another good reason. But, you know, if it has a Wikipedia page, it's not even zlib parentheses software project. Yeah, I don't think that applies either. Yeah, I would go with this. I mean, the important thing here is this include here, which will link back to. Well, you probably haven't seen how that looks, right? So that will look. That will link to. Here. And zlib does have a link to the home page here. Also, none of the other modules have links to home pages of the underlying projects, I think.
Yeah, that alone is probably reason enough to not include it.
Maybe some should, but they're kind of almost household names, at least in the industry.
Yeah, I would agree. And in other words, if you're for the audience that's likely to be looking here, they're going to be familiar.
Yeah. Requirements for optional modules. Okay, it looks like the capitalization of the headings is all over the place here. So let's go with the current guidelines. Yeah, okay, this one will need. Let's change it in Python 3.15, so we're not going to backport this change, I guess. Okay, so these are the easy changes. So now I need to pull and go to configure.rst and what happened here? So if Libmpdec is not available, the decimal module will use a pure Python implementation. Let me see what's actually changed here. Python 3.15, what's new? Removed implicit fallback to the bundled copy of the Libmpdec. Now this should be explicitly enabled with system mpdec set to no, or without system Libmpdec. And I guess the documentation here should be clear enough, I guess.
Yeah, basically it seems like, you know, if not this, then the other. Also, something added in version 3.3 is like ancient history. Oh, I see. It changed in 3.13. Okay.
Changed. It also changed in 3.15. We probably want to add it there. Version changed 3.15. Wait, default is yes. Wait, what actually changed here? Removed implicit fallback to the bundled copy of the Libmpdec library. Okay. So
So basically in 3.13 there's an implicit fallback, and then
right.
in 3.15 we remove the implicit fallback. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I guess for the sake of active voice, is it the compiler that no longer uses mpdecimal? Or parser?
Well, the configure process won't select it, I guess.
Okay.
I guess we need this. Oh, and I didn't pull correctly. Ah. Sometimes Git keeps track of which branch this is made from, sometimes it doesn't, and I don't remember the exact rules. But I can pull from my own branch with rebase and it's usually fine. Okay, so that's mpdecimal. This is repeating mpdecimal too many times, we can lose one of them. And the other thing I wanted to do is remove libmpdec2. Which isn't really used. So it's mentioned in C-types documentation, where there's an example of how to find some library. It's mentioned in configure.rst because it was added recently. It's in GitHub workflows for some reason. It's probably not needed there anymore. But yeah, BZ2
maybe it has something to do with Debian.
BZ2 module shouldn't really need it. How does the BZ2 module work? bz2 module bzlib.h. Oh, it's a low-level Python interface to libbzip2. Oh, and the header is bzlib.h. Where it just needs to be available, I guess. We have any mention in configure for bz2. Oh, there it is. It's lbz2 here. Okay, yeah, then it's necessary. A bit confusing, but necessary. And I'm not sure if bz2 has the optional paragraph in it. Oh, it does here. Okay. Oh, nothing to do here.
Is line 14 supposed to be separated by a character type?
Yeah, that's this line.
Oh, okay, I see.
I guess it was there forever. No, it's not here. When was it added?
Oh, this is Python 2.7.
That's my definition of forever, yeah. When was that added? .5. There's now a link to source code and add a line. So yeah, that's pretty old. I'm not changing that. Oh, I should make the documentation, not CPython, right?
Oh yeah, you're building the whole thing.
Fill up the cache at least. So, Python setup, configure Python. So to build CPython you need these things. Requirements for optional modules are here. Hopefully it's all of them. Two, and I should go through all of these and make sure they have the little blurb here. This is an optional module. C-types is an optional module. This one is decimal is not optional because it has the fallback as mentioned here. Should probably make sure that's actually the case. Let's see. So if I remove Libmpdec devel, I don't have it. What's the package name on Fedora? mpdecimal. Okay. So mpdecimal devel. And I configure, I should probably clean everything and configure again. Just to make sure it's really optional.
So I guess when we say optional, we really mean compile time options from when you build Python?
Okay, yeah, decimal now falls back to the Python implementation. When I say optional, so it's actually now a term in the...
Oh, I get it. Okay, in the glossary.
In the glossary. Oh, I cleaned everything, so I need to make everything again. What's the... So, optional module, an extension module that is part of the standard library, but may be absent in some builds of CPython, usually due to missing third-party libraries. See the list we just added. Yeah, so we call that an optional module in CPython. Decimal is not optional because the optional thing is only the C part of it. It'll fall back correctly. Now we have readline, which is optional. UUID, which says depending on support from the underlying platform, UUID may or may not return a safe UUID. And here we say the UUID module uses underscore UUID to generate safe UUIDs. Blah blah. So right, then we have curses, optional, SSL, optional, hashlib. It should have a note. If OpenSSL is not available, the hashlib module will use bundle implementations. See blah 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 for forcing OpenSSL usage. Right, SQLite 3 is optional, tkinter. Not optional. Well, it should be. So we take this include. I guess I didn't get this far. Let's say it's optional. Zlib, dkinter. And I guess everything that depends on tkinter, like idle and turtle, should also be designated as optional. But maybe that's for another day. Well, I mean, we have some dependencies on in here already. there's a list here, so it's probably want to add the nodes here. Yeah. Okay, so
I should try using idle again. I haven't tried. Apparently, it's getting better.
it is.
I mean, apparently people are still improving it.
Very slowly. Does idle have a... module? It's not a module. I should go like this. And zlib optional, gzip optional, ensure pip optional. zstd is optional. What about the other compression stuff? Should all be optional, right? std, zlib, gzip, bz2, lzma, zip file. You can use zip file without compression, but that should probably be mentioned there. So these all should be optional. Zip file. Zip file should probably have a note similar to this one. So
oh, yeah.
so what I will do is put in a comment here. So zip file and tar file. And what will the wording be? Or maybe we don't need a full note like that. So, which compressions can zip file use? zlib basic zlib bz2 or zstd. Do we have documentation for compression itself? Compression package. Let's use that.
Oh, compression is part of the standard library. That is, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So we can say things like from compression add zip file or something like that, import zip file.
I'll probably just list them. Zlib. BZ2. CMA and
ZSTD.
Let's not use the full name here. And now we need the
If any of them are missing.
yeah. And the same for tar file. Here. Oh, there's already a note like that. So let's reuse it. I don't like indentation in unstructured text. Let's use optional modules. Right, and we have the comment in here. Should probably back reference this. this just so future editors know what to do. So what have you changed? Added stuff to idle and so on. Does it still build? Let me search for compression. Yeah, that's mentioned here, but I guess the note up top is still good. And here we are. Oh, this was already there. Probably merge in the main branch as well. No conflicts. So let's put in the new version. Are there any other comments on here? So this should be resolved. And I think this is ready for review now.
Hey, celebration. That's really cool.
Now let's see if all of these people now agree with it. It touches a lot of individual turfs. Anyway, let's see if that gets some review until next week. Until then, yeah, this note was the same as the last one. What about this one? Oh, a summary of source characters is now merged. That's great. So let me see if this one is merged as well. Perfect. So we still have the F string and T strings, where I'll probably just say I plan to merge this next week if there are no objections. No, I replied to Adam. So Adam basically said we should do it in a different way. And there should be more distinction between lexing and runtime evaluation, which I agree with. And I did some of that in this pull request, but I still think this pull request is a good first step. Which Adam didn't reply, but that was just 2 weeks ago, so let's move on. And what I wanted to move on with was simplifying the name section of the lexical analysis. I don't know if you were here when we did that.
Yes, I think so. Some of it at least.
All right. Seems like digging a hole out of the diversions, but yeah, we already celebrated having lexical analysis done, but here I am going back. So what was the change here? I don't even remember. That was so long ago. Simplifying the name section. Ah, yes, you were here. So it is just the name section, and it got split into the general part and then the non-ASCII part. So let's look at how that works. We want where is this reference lexical names. So apparently when you're making a bulleted list, the punctuation should be should work as if the bullets weren't there. Is that right?
Wait, in Python or RST?
In like writing.
Restructured text. Right.
Well, any kind of writing. When you're doing a bulleted list, you can put periods at the end of full sentences, or commas if you're continuing the sentence. Right. So if I remove the bullets here, it should still work like a giant sentence, just with less formatting.
Yeah. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, of course.
And you can put and in here. So can you do this? Can you make a giant sentence like this and then end it, and then add another one which only applies to the last thing here?
Yeah, I mean, that should be fine.
Right. So we have that. Names must contain at least one character. Formally, they're defined like this. And not all names matched by this grammar are valid. So this keeps it nice and simple. And even in the actual lexer, it actually parses like this. It considers any non-ASCII character of like a part of a name, and then as part of validation it will do the other stuff. Oh, one thing we have here is the dot dot, which is meta syntax that we actually removed because we didn't need it anywhere else. But it's really nice to simplify. So yeah, when the grammar is simple again like this, I think it's better to use this. So let's look at the current lexical analysis. Oh no, this is not docspython.org. So currently name starts with this giant Unicode thing, where it's we use LU and LL blah blah blah, which is really not clear. So this goes back to the way this was in, well, before I started making changes. In 3.13, okay, this is also really confusing. Anyway, what I was trying to say, this reintroduces the dot dot syntax, which we used for integer literals, and I think that was the only place where it was used. Oh, so it was 3 dots, not 2 dots. I should bring that back. So we removed that in our earlier edits, and we need to add that back because it makes things easier. How do you navigate this website? Notation. So in 3.13, we said 2 literal characters separated by 3 dots mean a choice of any single character. And now in the new docs we need to say oh, I already added that. Maybe we never removed it. I thought we removed it. Anyway, good. Okay, we can use it. We can use it. We just need to make sure it's 3 dots, not 2.
Yeah, I wonder where we got the 2 dots from. Is that like from a string method or something?
So yeah, the history of the 2 dots. So yeah, originally this used 3 dots. Then I looked at like my rework of the lexical analysis, because this is only for lexical definitions, right? So it was only used in like 2 places. Let's go back there again. So lexical analysis in 3.13, if you look at the 3 dots, it's only used in integer literals, and that's it, right?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I went and removed it from integer literals, I think. Oh, didn't. Maybe I put it back. Well, let's see the current docs. Oh, it's used in notation. Okay, but let's see the current lexical analysis. Oh, it still uses the dots. Okay. Okay, so the history is at one point I thought I would get rid of this because it's only used in one place. So it doesn't really make sense to have special syntax for it. But apparently I never got around to removing it, so that's good. Now I can use it for the names.
Okay, but it's not the ellipsis. It's different from ellipsis, is that right?
No, it's meta syntax. It's it means any letter from A to Z, which is kind of obvious when you have it here. So that's good syntax. Right, so we just need to use 3 dots and make sure the integer literals also have 3 dots in there, yes. Getting confused by what changes were made and which weren't. So yeah, this is now a very simple section with links to the details, and that's how I like it. Then we have keywords, we have soft keywords, we have reserved classes of identifiers which are confusing, and then we get to non-ASCII characters and names. So besides these, names can use letter-like and number-like characters as details in this section. You can see this is new because it has a typo. And then the technical details comments. All names are converted into NFKC. Some typographic characters variants are converted to a basic form. Normalization is done at the lexical level only. I think we covered this a lot. Maybe we need to add runtime. And then we go. The first character of a normalized identifier must be letter-like. Formally, it must belong to the set ID start. And ID start
Do we define ID start anywhere?
Well, we define it here. This is the definition of ID start for Python.
Okay, I see. Sure, fair enough.
Unicode, I think, also defines ID start with a different capitalization and a slightly different definition. I think the Unicode ID start does not include the underscore.
We're specifically, or this definition here specifically refers to Python's Unicode.
I wonder if we need these names. Are they referenced anywhere else? No.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it seems like...
I mean, we're very deep in technical details right here.
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems like something that's like maybe should be part of like a Unicode how-to or something, like a Python Unicode guide.
No, so the lexical analysis chapter needs to precisely define lexical analysis.
Okay.
Right,
okay,
so we need to do this here. I'm just happy we, you know, moved it to the last section of the of names, like this.
Oh God, yes, yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Scary looking technical details. And now we say formally, this means, so ID start, I mean, it's not used anywhere else, but it is used in it is used inside the parser, so we probably should at least mention the names. I wonder if we should
definitely
make the mention less prominent, but we probably can't do that really.
I mean, I suppose we, maybe warn people or just give them a heads up that they're only going to encounter this inside the parser.
Right. ID start. We should probably note that Unicode also has ID start and ID continue. Are not. Properties. this make sense?
Yeah.
It's really dry and technical, but I'm not sure I can make it better.
No, I mean, I guess, yeah.
Maybe we should explicitly
If
mark
they've made
that
it
as
this
an
far.
aside.
You want to mark it as a note directive?
Yeah. Should we? Now I'm curious what the differences are. So ID start. And of course Unicode also has other ID start. And xid start. Okay, ID start characters are derived from the Unicode general category of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, blah 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 blah, letter numbers, minus pattern syntax and pattern white space. Okay, uppercase, lowercase, title case, modifier, other, letter numbers. Where was I here? Okay, modify other letter numbers. So we have the underscore, it's extra, and other ID start is a bit different. And what is this pattern syntax and pattern white space?
Oh, I see. That must be
White space.
White space.
Line feed. Vertical tabulation, form feed, character. Next line, line separator, paragraph separators. So these aren't really part of identifiers.
But this is Unicode, not necessarily Python, right?
Right, yes. There's ignorable format controls, required spaces. This is getting confusing. Following sets shall be disjoined. Characters allowed in identifiers, characters treated as white space, and characters with syntactic use. Which is really easy for CPython because white space or syntactic use cannot be non-ASCII.
I guess this information is helpful maybe for people who want to be able to use emojis as syntactic operators or APL.
Oh, definitely.
Weird shit like that.
And there's also xid start and xid continue, which the current documentation has this. C313, or the old version of the documentation, used xid, but my current version says just works with normalized identifiers, right? So anything, including non-ASCII stuff, is lexed as an identifier, then it's normalized, and then it's validated. So we don't use, we don't need xid start. And there's id continue plus non-spacing mark, spacing combination mark, decimal number, connector punctuation. This looks very much like this thing. Plus other continue minus pattern syntax and pattern white space. And what are these? I guess they're related to profiles. So, to be conformant to Unicode standard Annex 31, Unicode identifiers and syntax, Python would need to declare this some kind of profile, which we formally don't. A profile of this technical report, and provide formal lists, blah blah blah. Somebody else can do that. So I guess pattern syntax doesn't.
I mean, it almost feels like this might be like a Python dev guide thing, or is it too niche for Python dev guide?
No. So this is a technical specification that Python doesn't, that Python basically ignores, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, okay.
So we say, you know, this is how we parse our identifiers. The other way, and presumably the more correct way we could say that, is Python conforms to Unicode standard Annex 31 using the profile defined as, you know, we
okay.
We add in the underscore in some way that's specified here,
Right.
and we do not like our pattern syntax and pattern white space sets are empty, and you know, basically somebody would need to go through this document and see what's needed to conform to it. That probably wouldn't be that hard if you're the kind of person who likes conforming to standards, but I don't think anybody's done it, or well, nobody's done it to Python yet. And it's probably not necessary.
Yeah, maybe some summer intern somewhere in a German government agency might do that someday.
Yeah, except I wouldn't trust an intern. Somebody at the somebody responsible at the government agency might need to check it, or they might pay the Python Software Foundation to hire somebody, or delegate this to somebody.
Yes. That would be that's the recommended approach for anyone listening to this later on.
Yeah. Yes. If anybody wants Python standardized, I will be happy to read this document for money, but I don't think my current job makes it's part. I don't think it's part of my current job. So let's do this. Okay. So, oh, these sets are based on Unicode standard Annex, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we should probably merge these two nodes. And does the PEP say anything interesting here? Will be based on the annex with elaboration changes defined below. The problem with this annex is this PEP was from 2007 and the annex is from 2005. And it has several versions. And it even has a proposed update. I guess that'll be part of... Oh, it does not have a proposed update. That's good. But yeah, this is revision 43, and let's see what version was there at 2007. Oh, 20 is too low. I don't think this has version history anywhere, does it? Oh, getting close. So in 2007, and we're at, wait, 2016. Oh, we're not close. Sorry. Definitely not close.
Was that PEP 413?
PEP 3131.
Oh my God, so many PEPs.
Okay, version 7 was 2006. Version 9 was... version 8 was a draft. So we probably want to be looking at version 7. Which is very old and very short. So there's a very specifically defined ID start category, or ID start, what's it called? Property. But even this, as different programming languages have different conventions of the use of certain characters, like the underscore. Alright, so I think I have a better note in mind now. We say these sets are okay, the ID start and ID continue sets are based on the Unicode standard Annex UA31. See also PEP 3131 for further details. Note that Python does not necessarily conform to UAX31. And apparently the properties ID start and ID continue, as far as I can see, is something each programming language would define for itself. So it's not true that the Unicode standard defines these sets. So let's remove this note. Just add this one. You don't necessarily conform to any version of the Unicode standard. Somebody would need to check that. Right, let's build that. And we have derived core properties, which which has the xid continue and things like that. Xid start, id continue, id start. So is the underscore in Unicode's id start? There's Latin capital letters, Latin small letters, and no underscore.
I see, but it can serve as an ID start in Python.
Yes. So this note is not that useful, but it says it's not normative. And I guess the only difference is the underscore. On the other hand, these things can change, and the the Annex 31 can change as well. But it's probably a good list to use if you want to, you know, see if your tolong CKey letter I can be part of a Python identifier. If it's on this list, it can probably be a Python identifier. Make sure.
Right, well, presumably ID start, I mean, ID continue is essentially the rest of it, right? So your tolong could conceivably be an ID continue.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I guess
maybe we should look at the xid start.
This is a wonderful resource for anyone who has trouble falling asleep.
Yes. So the xid start and xid continue contain characters that
What are we trying to say at this point?
so the xid, the x here are characters that when you normalize that character, you get something from id start, pretty much.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's kind of like they are related or they complement the
Yeah,
characters.
so these are the lists you want to see if something's a valid Python identifier, whereas the id start is, that's something you should look at if you have a normalized identifier.
Oh, but a normalized identifier meaning like a non-Python identifier. Right.
Something like this.
Oh, yeah, I like that way of saying it, before normalization. And of course, in this case, xid is not specific to Python, but in fact, it's part of Unicode, right? As opposed to the lowercase id start and lowercase id continue.
Yeah, so Python's id start and id continue are defined here. So this is what
and
it
there
is.
is no. Right. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Unicode's id start is defined well, it's defined up here, but it's not very useful because each language should define its own id start set, like Python does. Right, so we might want to say, you know, id start is Unicode's id start plus the underscore, but we're not saying that. Now the Unicode properties with the xids are meant where in the lexical analysis phase, you're looking for identifiers that would normalize to the ID start.
Right, right, okay.
Right? So this is defined in a rather convoluted way where an xid start character will normalize to ID start, potentially followed by some ID continue characters, because the normalization can result in a long string, like longer than one character. Right? So if it normalizes to ID start plus ID continue, then it's xid start. If it normalizes to ID continue, well, any number of ID continue characters, then it's xid continue. So it's a bit complicated and technical, and we sidestep all that complexity by saying, you know, anything non-ASCII is an identifier, which we then normalize and then we validate it. Right? So we don't directly use the xid, which would parse the non-normalized identifiers.
Right, I see. Okay. Beautiful.
Really not clear.
Well, I think what helps, at least for me, is to understand that all of that is handled by the parser, and that, if you will, outside of the parser, these distinctions are not pertinent.
Right. I mean, if you're writing a lexical analyzer for Python from scratch, you might want to use xid start. Like if you want to validate early, or if you want to, for example, if you would want to use emojis for operators or something like that, then you would need to change the parser. Right? Because then you no longer have the situation where any non-ASCII character can just be part of a name and nothing else. Right? So then you would have to use xid start to see immediately from the source code if something is a letter or not. Well, let's leave it at this. It's getting technical. Right, so yeah, now we have a very simple section on names and a very confusing section on non-ASCII characters. And if anybody says, you know, why cannot use a cat emoji in my identifier, you can point here and say, this is why. I don't understand it either.
Fabulous.
Oh, that's an existing branch, so I need to create a pull request manually. Let's see this one. And I think the actual parser does it like this. And I'm not sure. Not sure it does, but I think it does, and that's where I got the idea of explaining it like this. Should I check? Should we look where how the parser does identifiers? Where do we even... Oh, this is generated by pgen. This is init normalization, new identifier. So this decodes UTF-8. If it's non-ASCII and it initializes normalization, calls Unicode data.normalize, and yeah, normalizes the identifier. Does it validate? Or is that done later? Where do we see ID start even in the source code? ID start mask. Like if I do an emoji,
okay.
I get invalid character. Where does that come from? Parser. Tokenize error. Here it is.
There's also, yeah, there's also one in the parser.
PyUnicode is printable. Huh. So this is verify identifier. Where is this? Is potential identifier character. Is potential identifier start. Ah, here it is. See this? So this is called potential identifier, and that's exactly what we have there. Where? Here. A to Z underscore.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And non-ASCII character. Right, so this just lumps it all together. Depending on the fact that this can't be an operator or something else. And apparently if it then verifies the identifier, using PyUnicode is printable. Which is interesting, because I thought PyUnicode is printable was for like repr. What is PyUnicode is printable? Stir is printable? It might be. Yeah, this is printable, so that's the wrong check.
Yeah, it's more like is valid. I thought there was a valid in the Unicode.py.
Where else is this invalid character? I don't know. Oh, no. This is just the check for the error message. So if it's printable. Ah, I see. Oh, there it is. PyUnicode scan identifier. Okay, so apparently the we verify identifiers inside the parser somewhere. Okay, so the the parser does something like this.
Well, let's get a PR number for this. So I can put it in the notes.
All right. This is the give me PR number. So the number is 140464. We probably want to ping Mark Andre for reviewing the technical correctness. Once it's built. Yeah, and I think we won't be able to start anything new in like today.
Oh yeah, I agree. That's totally fine. I mean, it's only 5 or so minutes left.
Yeah, so I'll just wait for the build here and so maybe next time we'll get back to the subscription of expressions.
Yeah, if Honeycomb ever decides to do or whatever they're called, decides to do a documentary on yak shaving, I think this could certainly be an episode.
Well, they should first cover the Beware project.
Oh, that's true. Those documentaries must be very expensive.
Yeah, that would be expensive, I guess. I think Russell wanted to write an IDE for Python and ended up adding iOS support.
Oh my God, really? That's
to Python just to, have a GUI library. And of course a GUI library on top of that.
And then a framework for the GUI library.
Oh, like the GUI library is a framework.
No, I was just sort of halfway being facetious because that's something a JavaScript developer would do. Yeah.
Now it has support for different frameworks, which kind of makes it a framework itself. I hope this is the right person. The author of the PEP. No, this is Martin Paul Lewis. Mal is like author of Unicode data. There's lots of maintenance. Who wrote the lexical analysis here? Maybe let's blame it. Benjamin Peterson. Okay. Let's look at stuff without my changes. Jörg Brundle.
Oh, there's Lewis.
Yeah. None of these people are really active anymore. Except Victor, and he probably didn't like make a change to the prose itself. Wow, this is really old.
I'm starting to feel like Indiana Jones stepping into a tomb.
I mean, I have a lot of respect for this person. I've never met him. He's like the original CPython developers. I hope Guido gets to interview them all.
I've seen the name also, but I've never met.
Gerd Brandl, I think, is the original author of restructured text.
Oh, that's where I know it from. Yeah, there's a lot of old Sphinx stuff that he's involved with as well.
Yeah, Sphinx as well, probably. Anyway, yeah, I hope people like this pull request. It's not bringing Marc-Andre right now. And yeah, that's all the time we have. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that note that I sent you was just because I seem to remember that you might be interested in running a language server protocol inside Kate.
Oh.
Or maybe, yeah, that's what that was all about.
Not really. I just told you some reasons I'm not doing that.
No, okay, no worries. That's fine. Okay.
And they were kind of technical reasons why it doesn't work well for me. But I guess most of the reason is, you know, it's the autocomplete pops up menus and covers up text and takes over the tab key and stuff like that. It slows me down. Maybe if I would get used to it, it would speed me up. But the thing I'm used to is looking up stuff that I don't remember.
Yeah, so that's totally fine.
But thank you for the note. And